Welcome to the continuing education videos offered by Lionsgate Advisors. My wife, who's a physician, jokes that she's been through grade 23 years of education, and yet never did she receive one class in how to personally take care of her finances. Yes, she learned how to bill for the hospital, but nothing how to take care of herself. In these educational videos, we hope to help educate you. Our motto is high education and low tension so that you can successfully navigate through your retirement. I dedicate this series of educational videos to the doctors, nurses, and healthcare specialists that are working tirelessly in this country as we endure the COVID-19 pandemic. I salute you. Please pass this video on to your brothers, sisters, or friends, and let them begin the process of education. In this video class, we're going to introduce to you an alternative to the bond positions in your portfolios. Many of you have what are called target date funds. These are mutual funds that are set up with a target date that would be close to your retirement. The portfolio is comprised of equities and bonds. The younger you are and the further from your retirement, the larger percentage are in equities. The closer you get to your retirement, the equities switch to a longer bond position. The idea behind these target date funds is to make sure that as you're close to retirement, that volatility in the markets will not cause your retirement fund to lose as much value as being in a complete equity position. So if you're planning on retiring in 2025, you might be placed in a 2025 target date fund. At age 50, this would typically be 72% equities and the remaining 28% in bonds. As you approach age 65, it would almost reverse, the majority being in bonds. Thus, your target date would be 2025. Here's the problem. In 2001 and 2 and 2007 and 8 recessions, these target date funds took a tremendous beating. And those retirees who planned to use those funds in retirement no longer had a reliable income. Here's a Vanguard Target Date Fund 2010. The green chart tracks the fund from 2006 through 2013. On October 1st, 2007, the fund hit its highest mark at 23.99. And on February 1st, 2009, 16 months later, the fund hit a low of 15.77, a loss of 36%. While the market in general was down 45 to 50% during that time, the TDF experienced large losses also. Nicole Tannenbaum, chief investment strategist at Chequers Financial Management, reported in an article in the Wall Street Journal, May 5, 2019, and said, while 2010 target date funds have been gradually shifting their allocation towards bonds, as they were designed to do, many were still holding 50% equity or more when the 2008 financial crisis hit. Funds were down less than the stock market during the crash thanks to their bond component, but the performance still took many retirement-ready individuals by surprise as they watched their portfolio losses balloon into double-digit territory. Low bond yields in recent years have reduced target date fund income after the target date and increased the risk of losses on bond holdings if rates rise. Additionally, stocks and bonds have often moved in tandem in recent years, reducing the benefit from diversification, which assumes one asset goes up when the other falls. With the COVID-19 pandemic, the Fed has lowered interest rates about as far as they can go, and safe bond yields are extremely low. And we're not picking on Vanguard. Here's a look at a Fidelity Freedom 2010 target date fund showing the roller coaster of that fund from 1998 till 2015. Note the losses in 2001 through 2003 corrections, and again in 2007 through 2009. It tracks about the same as the Vanguard TDF. If one were planning to retire in 2008, you began to get pretty nervous after the fund reached its high point of $15.97 in October, and just months later, 16 months later to be exact, it bottomed out at $8.99, a 16-month loss of 57%. Does that sound like a good retirement strategy? I emphasize again, the system is broken. We're being sold products with no real correlation to what's in our best interest, but are sold purely on the idea of emotion and sales pressure. If we're going to have a safe retirement, that system that's broken has to change. In the past, there was a correlation between stocks and bonds. When stocks went down, bonds went up. It was like a teeter-totter. That correlation has changed. The correlation now is between stocks and interest rates. When stocks go down, interest rates go up. The problem is interest rates are already as low as they can ever be. Think about it as a seesaw. Remember from grade school when you were the skinny kid sitting on the top of the seesaw and the big kid was on the bottom of the seesaw and he jumped off and you went crashing to the ground? Remember? It was a lesson you won't soon forget. And that's how it is with the correlation between interest rates and stocks. Fast forward to 2020. Interest rates remain at an all-time low. The economy is doing pretty well, at least the stock market, and the GDP is hovering around 2.5. Stocks are at an all-time high and interest rates at all-time lows. Bonds are in the tank, meaning yield or return on bonds is low. Interest rates have only one way to go, up. And if interest rates go up, bonds go down. Is there a scenario where interest rates at almost zero today could go down? Not likely. Are your current bond positions likely to go up? No. So if bonds are not the safe harbor that they used to be, and CD interest rates are in the tank, what can a family do? For the families we serve, we look to replace the bond position in their portfolios with a life insurance product called a fixed index annuity. These are private pension funds that can not only create a pension for you for the rest of your life that you can never outlive, grow tax deferred, and have guarantees to make sure that you and your spouse have lifetime income. Additionally, some of these fixed index annuities even offer a long-term care rider to allow you to double your income if that's needed for long-term care. Historically, they have averaged 3 to 5% in returns. They can never go below zero. In times of volatility, zero is your hero. Have you ever been to a construction site, like a site where they're building a large apartment or hotel complex? Have you seen all the safety signs? Some say 325 days without an incident. They all work for safety first. That's what a successful retirement plan should embrace. Safety first. For the most part, we are living longer, utilizing a system developed by professors at the University of Pennsylvania. The Wall Street Journal and the U.S. News called How Long Will I Live? The average male, 65 years old, who weighs 187 pounds and is 6 feet tall, who exercises 3 to 4 times a week and is in pretty good health, your life expectancy is 90 years. For a woman, it's slightly longer. So you need to play the long game. A retirement income plan should be based on planning to live, not planning to die. Remember the movie The Shawshank Redemption? Remember when Andy was talking to Red in the yard? And Andy said, "Red, life is simple. You either get busy living or get busy dying." In retirement, income matters. It's not how much you can make, but how much you can spend. It requires a mind shift away from accumulation to safety and distribution. How much can I spend? Traditional financial planning will almost always fall short or be difficult at best to predict. We must move from the idea that either investments or insurance alone will meet our needs. We need to create a strategy that places an emphasis on insurance products and how they may behave as part of an integrated retirement income plan. Simply stated, we need our income to last no matter how long we might live. Now, let's talk about creating a private pension fund. Let's go back to the ancient days of Rome. During the Roman Empire, when the Roman soldiers would go off to war, the wealthy of Rome created the first annuities. The family of the soldier paid the wealthy Roman insurer a fee to make sure that if the soldier did not return from war, they would receive an annual payment for the rest of their life. Thus, the first annuity was born. We utilize a very special kind of annuity called a fixed index annuity. That annuity creates what we like to call a private pension fund. When I teach classes at the local colleges, and I ask the people in the class, what do they like or not like about annuities? What have they heard good or bad about annuities? We draw a chart on the board and we outline the good side to the bad side. It always is 70% to the bad side. When we begin to delve deeper into the objections they've heard and maybe the misinformation they've received, it all goes the other way, 70-30, towards good for annuities. If what you thought you knew to be true turned out not to be, when would you want to know? Most people would say right now. Last year, I attended a Rolling Stones concert in Seattle. As I walked from my hotel in downtown to the stadium where the Stones were to perform, I was deluged by large signs and people giving out brochures. Usually these are for local bars or eateries, but these were different. They were sponsored by something called the Alliance for Lifetime Income. The Alliance for Lifetime Income is a nonprofit consumer education organization whose mission is to help Americans understand the need for protected lifetime income from an annuity when planning for retirement, so they don't outlive their money. When I got inside the stadium, I was amazed. The signs were everywhere, promoting websites and giving out information. At the Rolling Stones. Once inside and watching Mick, Keith, Ronnie, and Charlie perform on the stage, I began to realize the legends of my youth had definitely aged. Now, this promotion of lifetime income all began to make sense. So, why an annuity? Simply put, many Americans entering retirement face a considerable level of financial risk from the trifecta of longevity, equity market volatility, and the uncertainty of health costs in old age and long-term care. In addition, even a 2% inflation rate necessitates doubling of retirement income over 35 years to maintain purchasing power. A realistic planning horizon for healthy individuals. Looking at another way, the economic value, not to mention the peace of mind, of protected lifetime income, once upon a time provided by a traditional pension, may be far greater than most people or their financial advisors realize. It may also help to explain why a 2019 survey conducted by the Alliance for Lifetime Income revealed that only 42% of non-retired Americans believe their savings and income from other sources will last their lifetime, not even half. Even for the sophisticated investors, annuities are an easy choice. Let's see, I will most likely get a 3 to 5% return, historically, with the insurance company taking all the risk. That's called risk pooling, having the large insurance company take that risk. I can replace the risky, underperforming bond positions in my portfolio with a no-fee or low-fee risk-free, guaranteed position. Well, that's a hard choice. If I choose, I can turn on the provision giving me and my spouse a true income for life, just like a pension. And in some of these fixed index annuities, they even have a provision to provide an increasing income each time the indice grows. Let's see, an increasing income on a decreasing asset? That's not rocket science, and it becomes an important part of my retirement plan. Let's talk for a minute about tax treatment in a fixed index annuity. So when we transfer funds or roll over from your IRA to the annuity, there is no taxation at that point. The taxes are deferred until you actually take that out as income. Part of our strategies will be to help you position those funds in an IRA, Roth, or in a tax-exempt and tax-free structure. Look at this chart. The chart shows a fixed index annuity with what's called annual reset. Each year on the contract anniversary date, whatever gain has been achieved in the index or indices for that 12 months is locked in, meaning the value cannot go down from there, ever. It would be like going to Las Vegas, and every time you won a dice roll or roulette wheel spin, your chips were immediately deposited as cash into your bank account, and you started over again. In this example, if you placed your bet on red and black came up, you would get your chips back. Never a loss. It seems too good to be true, but it is, and it's the way so many of our clients are now thrilled that the markets have corrected so dramatically in the COVID-19 crisis. But when we review their total strategy, the tactic that includes replacing the bond positions are either slightly up or at no worse, zero. Never down. They are thrilled about that part. In the chart, the blue line tracks the fixed account of approximately 2% gain every year, no losses. The red is the S&P from 1998 to 2015. You can see the dramatic swings in 2002 and 2007. The markets go up, the markets go down. No one can predict or time. The green line represents the historical returns on a fixed index annuity. Notice it does not increase as rapidly in good times as the S&P, but when the markets correct, it just flatlines. No losses. Over this period of time, it is actually ahead of the market as it never experienced losses that has had to come back from. If you had $100,000 in the market and the markets went down 50%, you'd now have $50,000. If the markets go up 50%, you now have $75,000. Your average is zero, but your true loss is $25,000. It's called the flaw of averages. Once you lose principal, you have to have twice as much return just to get you back to zero. So how long will it take, and how much does the market have to return in order for me to receive the same $100,000 I had before the correction? Another misconception in fixed index annuities is that if you die, the insurance company will keep what's left in your account. And this is also not true. Upon your death, your beneficiaries will receive whatever is left in that account. That is what you haven't taken as a withdrawal. Some of these annuity hybrids have evolved to include extended care protection. What I mean by that is this. If we are taking income from the lifetime income provision of the contract, and I have a need for some kind of extended care, home health care, assisted living, nursing home, and so on, the insurance company will double my yearly income until the account is depleted, and then the yearly income will continue at the single rate as before, no matter how long I live. In the recent past, before the 2007 and 8 corrections, annuities were embraced and used extensively by broker-dealers in our industry. Families trusted them and utilized them much as they had been done since Roman times. Then all of this changed. In the period following the 2007 and 8 recessions, these variable annuities sold by broker-dealers not only lost money in the accumulation value as the markets corrected, but also had high fees of 3 to 5% typically. Broker-dealers sell products that may not be in your best interest. A variable annuity is a great example of that. Companies keep adding surrender fees and internal fees to these products. Often these fees are hidden in the fine print of the contract or in the prospectus. In a down market, it's nearly impossible for these variable annuities to achieve any growth, and the fees pull them down even further. Often, the only one making money on these variable annuities are the broker-dealers themselves. In contrast, the fixed index annuity, the bond replacement that we advocate for your portfolios, has fees that range from 0 to 1.25%. Most of our clients find they're in a zero fee-based annuity. Once again, in the world of financial planning, there is no cookie-cutter method. Each family is different, and each plan has to be customized for that family's purpose, plan, and then oversight on that plan. After viewing this short video and others that are on our website, contact us and let us, as fiduciaries, give a second opinion to you on your current financial plan. Let us help you see and stress test your retirement strategies to make sure that your retirement is safe and secure and you can rest easy at night.